Hello, everyone. My name is Kaylee Archer, and I'm Coordinator of Marketing for the Division of Student Affairs. Before we begin, go ahead and type your names in the comments so we can mark you down for attendance and so you can be entered in for a chance to win a $500 book scholarship. With us today, we have Counseling and Prevention Services, Housing and Residence Life, Office of Disability Services, Student Conduct and Community Standards, and Student Engagement, Advocacy, and Leadership. Each of our guests will be presenting to you all about their departments, and then we can go over questions at the very end. Feel free to comment any questions that you have throughout the presentations, and we'll be sure to answer them. For now, let's begin with Counseling and Prevention Services. So let me get everyone set up here.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Chukune Nweke, one of the mental health counselors or staff psychologists here at Wichita State University Counseling and Prevention Services. And I have a bunch of information to share with you guys today about our services and how you can get a hold of us, and then hopefully answer some questions at the end. And so you may be asking yourself, what is Counseling and Prevention Services, or otherwise known as CAPS? We engage with our community and our campus through intervention and prevention to promote mental wellness. We offer a variety of services, including therapy, consultation. We also offer trainings, and then also outreach services to our campus community too. And so when it comes to therapy, we offer confidential individual, couples, and group therapy services to enrolled Wichita State students. No student is turned away. We are willing and able to work with your financial situation. So we really have affordable services here. And our services can be offered via telehealth or in person. And more on our therapy services. Our services are provided by licensed mental health providers or trainees supervised by licensed providers. You can always get a hold of us if you want to schedule an appointment by calling our number here, which is the 316 number. And then also first-time clients can schedule a visit with us at our website, wichita.edu/CAPS. Our providers provide expert behavior and mental health consultation to campus and response to campus crisis too. One of the other services that we offer is group therapy. Group therapy is free for currently enrolled students. So as long as you're enrolled in classes, it's free. I would really advice for this, because it's a great way for students to connect with their peers and work on mental health in a cooperative group. And so you're leaning on each other and you're also supporting each other at the same time. Students can join group therapy by speaking with their individual counselor, or also by setting a consultation by calling the 316 number. And then we also have some information on crisis services. We offer crisis service here during our normal regular business hours, which is 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. CAPS will always have a counselor to assist with that. If a student is experiencing a mental health emergency, you might be asking yourself, what's an emergency? What counts as an emergency? Well, a mental health crisis could include a variety of things, but mainly safety emergencies that are show like the individual is an immediate threat to themselves or others, if they're a victim of recent assault, physical or sexual, or seeing or hearing things that are not real. That would be an example of a mental health crisis. Students can also seek help 24/7, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is the 1-800 number, and through the crisis text line. And something about this too is that you might have heard this already, but the 1-800 number and the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline are working towards changing that to the 988. And so both of those numbers work currently, I think the full transition will be sometime in the fall. Something to keep in mind about the 988 number is that they're struggling with the geo links. And so, what do you mean by the geo links? Well, let's say you're from New York and your number is the area code for your number is from New York. And you're currently attending Wichita State University, and you're going through a crisis, or you notice that there's a student going through a crisis, and you go ahead and you call the 988 number. That will actually get you connected to the area code of your cell phone number. So since your area code is from New York, you get connected with someone in New York. So they're just currently trying to work around that. If you don't have any, if your area code is in Kansas and you are currently living in Kansas, then you shouldn't have any issues. It will get you connected with a local crisis service provider. But if your area code is outside of Kansas, it will get you connected with that area code linked with that phone number. And then we also offer outreach. CAPS offers campus updates or wellness tips, along with weekly video content to support your mental health on different social media platforms. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Shockers CAPS. And also you can check us on YouTube at Wichita State CAPS. Connect with us also for special events. You might find us in the RSC or in partnership with other wellness departments. And if you would like to request a presentation, you can always get that on the website, wichita.edu/prevention request. And then last but not least, you can always contact us using our number, 316-978-4792. We are actually located in the YMCA at Wichita State. You can also find more information about us at our website, wichita.edu/CAPS, or you can send us an email. We're really quick at responding to our emails. And then you can also follow us on different social media platforms. And thank you for having me today, and hopefully answer some questions that you have at the very end.
Hi, everyone. My name's Carly Inyart. I work in Housing and Residence Life. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about what to expect when you are living on campus this year. So Shockers live in 3 different residence halls. We've got 3 on campus. One of them is Shocker Hall. That's for first-year students only. It's about 800 bed spaces, so it's by far our largest residence hall on campus. There's typically 1 or 2 bathrooms per suite, so you'll only be sharing a bathroom with anywhere from 2 to 4 people. There's community laundry rooms. There's 5 of them in the building. They're all located in C building, and those are free. So there's also an app that you can actually track your laundry, and like when it's done, it will notify you. It'll show you what laundry machines are open and all that kind of stuff. The dining hall and the coffee shop are located within Shocker Hall, so it's a super easy commute to go eat. And then we also have some living learning communities that are in Shocker Hall. We have 10 of them. What a living learning community is an opportunity for you to engage with other residents with similar interests or similar fields of study. So we have a living learning community for engineering, women in engineering, fine arts, health professions, the Honors College, the School of Business, College of Applied Studies. And then we also have a living learning community for our first generation college students. It's called First to Go. And then Black Excellence as well for students who want to make connections within the Black community on campus. So that's a little bit about Shocker Hall. Over at the Suites is our other first year building as well, but it's a lot smaller. There's only about 220 bed spaces, and almost 90% of those bed spaces are 2-bedroom suites with a private bedroom in each of them. Each suite has a small kitchenette that comes with a full-size fridge. And then it's also got the washer and dryer in the unit, as well as a bathroom in the unit. So almost everyone in the suites only shares a bathroom with one other person. The beds over at the suites are full size. They're not twin extra large. So if you're living in the suites, just make sure that you're getting a different size of bedding than the twin extra large so that it fits on your bed. It's located next to the flats. It's on Innovation Campus, so it's a little bit further removed from main campus, but it's an easy, simple walk to basically anywhere on campus as well. We're going to have a front desk that's open there as well. And we have a front desk at Shocker Hall. I missed that, but that's typically open from 6 or 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And that's where students can get their mail. They can rent like board games and pool sticks or ping pong paddles. We have cleaning kits. If you don't bring enough cleaning supplies, we've got some there for you as well. So those are kind of some things you can get at our front desk. So the flats then is our third residence hall, and it is for upperclassmen only, so sophomores through graduate students. There's roughly 400 students who live in this space, and it's an apartment complex. So each apartment has a full kitchen, washer, dryer, and a private bathroom for each bedroom. Some of the rooms have twin extra large size beds, and then some of them have full size beds. So if you're living in the flats, you'll just want to make sure you know what kind of room you're living in so that you know what kind of bedding to buy. There's also a clubhouse and recreation area with a pool table, ping pong table, some TVs and couches and stuff like that. And then there's also an underground parking lot for that building, as well as regular parking available. So some things that you'll want to bring to campus are laptops and chargers and other technology, clothes for every season, as well as shoes, hangers and toiletries, towels and bedding. We do not provide toilet paper or trash cans, so you'll want to bring both of those things as well. Laundry baskets and laundry detergent. Laundry is free, but the detergent is not. And then you'll also want to bring or talk to your roommates about who's bringing a vacuum. We do have a couple of them at the front desks, but just to make sure that there's one always available to you, I would work with your roommates to find someone who wants to bring those. And then bringing other cleaning supplies like a toilet brush, dusting stuff, all of that good stuff. Shocker Hall, you can bring a miniature fridge that's 4.9 cubic feet or smaller, and then a microwave that is 700 watts or lower. And then a couple dishes like plates, cups, and bowls, umbrella and a raincoat and a winter coat, maybe first aid or medicine or anything you need in that regard. And then a social security card. You will need this in case you get an on-campus job. You have to have your social security card to go through the hiring process. And then to hang things on your walls, the only thing we recommend using is painter's tape, which is that blue looking masking tape. Almost everything else, unfortunately, tears the paint off the walls, and then people get charged for that at the end of the year. So some things that we advise you do not bring because they are against policy is halogen lamps. So most lamps that don't use standard bulbs or fluorescent bulbs are halogen. No pets. So the only exception to this is non-dangerous fish that are permitted to be in a clean aquarium that's less than 20 gallons. Double-sided foam tape, and then multi-plug extensions, items that hang from the ceiling we don't want in there. Candles with a wick are not allowed. You can have the little wax melt things, but you can't have a candle. Lighter fluid, firearms and weapons, items that have an open heating element, so like toasters, toaster ovens, George Foreman grills. If something doesn't have an automatic shutoff, we want to make sure that it's not brought. You cannot bring pressure cookers or freezer units, and then refrigerators larger than 5 cubic feet, or LED light strips. Those are really bad at tearing off paint off the wall too. And then no smoking or tobacco products of any kind. We're our smoke-free campus, and that includes the residence halls. So you will meet some people on your floor that you'll have a go-to person. Your resident assistant is what they're called. So they are students who live on your floor who are going to be kind of your main go-to person about anything you might need. So we truly want to make sure that your safety is first. They will create an inclusive environment on the floor as well. And then they'll connect you to each other and to the university. And we will have them work as a team to make sure that you all are getting what you need. Awesome. So here's our contact information. If you need to get a hold of us for any reason, our main office is in Shocker Hall, just behind the front desk, and the address is listed below.
Hello, everybody. My name is Isabel Medina Kaiser, and I am the Director of the Office of Disability Services. So basically, the whole thing with the American with Disability Act, it was a civil rights legislation passed in 1990 with many different types of amendments. Basically, a person that is disabled is a person that has a physical or mental impairment that is substantially limits your major life activity, has a record of such a disability, or is regarded as having a disability. Some of the life activities include, but are not limited to, learning, working, walking, breathing, hearing, seeing, and other physical or sensory functions. Again, this individual qualifies as being disabled. Then accommodations will be put into place to address his or her specific needs. Just wanted to go over some of the possible disabilities that are considered to be accommodated. One is learning disabilities. It could be dyscalculia, which is a disorder specifically as far as math is concerned, dysgraphia, dyslexia. Could be issues of short-term memory. It could be spelling disorders, writing disorders. Could be medical issues. It could be that maybe you're riding down the sidewalk on your skateboard and go boom, and then end up hurting your arm that you write with. It could be things like back injuries. It could be celiac disease, cerebral palsy, migraines, diabetes, MS, thyroid disease. Could be psychological disabilities, which could include ADD, ADHD, antisocial disorders, autism spectrum disorder, depression, anxiety. It could be post-traumatic stress disorder, schizophrenia, TBI. Could be that you're a student that has hearing, speaking, or seeing disability. It could be that you are deaf or hard of hearing, speech disorders, and or vision disabilities. The accommodation process right now, we're in between two programs. We used to be using Maxient. We're about ready to go on Hughes Ames. It should hopefully be up by the time school starts. But until that transition has accomplished, you will need to contact our office at disability.services@wichita.edu to request an intake meeting via Zoom. We will send you an email also with some questions. Then you will provide us with documentation of your disability. Once that is done, then we will set up an intake meeting with the intake specialist and discuss accommodations with you. If you're a student that has already registered with ODS and you're needing accommodations for the next semester, you just simply, again, contact our office at disability.services@wichita.edu and let us know that you're requesting continued services for the next semester. Some of the accommodations that we can give is testing accommodations, which could be extended time, testing in a distraction-reduced environment, a private testing room, rest breaks during an exam, especially if you have some medical issues, flexibility with exams and due dates. Again, that's usually for our students that have medical issues. We do the accommodated testing through WSU Testing Services. They are in our same building on the 3rd floor. Could be classroom accommodations, perhaps ability to stand in the class, note-taking. We do have a thing called a smart pen, which actually records the class, but also records what you're writing, which can be very beneficial for students that have issues with note-taking. It could be things like service animal. It could be that maybe you have diabetes and need to be able to test your blood. Could be discussion about emergency evacuation assistance. Could also be academic or non-academic accommodations. Could be priority class registration. That's typically, again, for our students with medical issues. Emergency evacuation, as we stated before, single room. However, if you're trying to do that now, all the rooms are pretty much divvied up as far as single rooms and stuff. It could also be that you're needing to bring your emotional support animal. We also have, it should be actually van instead of golf carts, because we have been able to get a van to help some of our students get from point A to point B. But again, point A to point B is usually from your dorm to your classroom if you have issues of mobility. We're also really emphasizing accommodations for practicums, internships, and clinics. So we'll definitely talk about that. So if you're in a practicum, internship, or clinical and you have a disability, please contact our office. The information is confidential. It does not state, when you get your degree, it does not say engineering with accommodations. As far as your disability is concerned, the accommodation letters does not list your disability. That's up to you if you choose to divulge that. Again, just want to really emphasize the word transition. This is your time to transition, specifically with your making sure that you know how to take your medication, knowing how to order your medication, some of those issues. Again, some of the things that you can do to get involved with our office is there's now a college diabetes network that's in the process of becoming a club. We have a disability honor society. You have to have a 3.0 GPA. We need work study positions. If you're interested, go through Handshake. We need volunteer note takers. We're also looking at putting together a mentoring program. So if you're interested in any of those, please give us a call. And again, ODS contact information, Office of Disability Services. We're located in Grace Wilkie Hall, room 203. Our phone number is 316-978-3309. Our email again is disability.services@wichita.edu, and our website's listed on the screen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Liz Thornton, and I am from Student Conduct and Community Standards. So what we are going to talk about today is my office, what happens if you have to come and interact with my office, other ways that you can get involved, and how you can get connected with us. So I am a visual learner, so I can't just look at names and know who people are. So I like to add pictures. So this is our office. We are a pretty small office. There's just the three of us. And you can see my picture there in the middle. So what we do on campus, this is kind of a two-part slide. The first one is that we are responsible for upholding and enforcing all university behaviors and expectations. Basically what that means is we are just here to make sure that you have a good learning environment to learn in and to live in if you live on campus. My process is very educational and administrative. We are not here to get you in trouble. We are not here to expel you or anything like that. We really are here to help you learn and help you get back on the right track. We focus on your rights as a student. And if you need an outcome, they are designed to help you learn and develop. So I have 5 rules to being a shocker and to being a responsible shocker. They're pretty simple, but they can be kind of hard for some students. So the first one is to do your work, and only the way your professor told you to do it. The second one is don't lie. 3, don't violate the law. 4, don't be mean. And 5, and most importantly, don't be creepy. If you can follow those 5 simple things, you are going to do so well, both in life and here as a shocker. So now, what if something happens and we can't follow all 5 of those expectations? You'll get an email from me and you'll have to come and meet. So I just want to break it down into 4 simple steps and things that will happen when you meet with me. The first one is take a breath. It is not the end of the world. Like I said, my process is very administrative and I am here to help you learn. The second one is attend the meeting that I have scheduled for you. If you cannot attend that meeting, please shoot me an email or call my office or come stop by. I'm happy to reschedule that for you. They're going to be open and honest with me. I'm just trying to understand what happened, and I want to get as much information as I can. Finally, stay in communication with me. You might receive emails or updates, and I might need responses from you. So just make sure you're checking your email. This goes for everything. Check your email at least once a day, if not more. Everyone is going to use your Shocker email to communicate with you. So now that I've talked about the scary conduct side of what I do, what are other ways that you can get involved, not just when you're required to? So my office has a very cool volunteer program that you can get involved in and is great for resume building. And that is our Academic Integrity Committee and our Student Conduct Boards. This is where you as the student would be trained on how to be a conduct or academic integrity committee member. So you would get to hear those higher level cases that go to those committees, and you would get to have a say in that student's outcome. As you sit there, you get to take in all of the information. I will train you on how to be in that hearing and how to understand that material. And then you have a say to change the outcome for those students. Your vote is just as much as everybody else's vote on that committee. And then you as the student get to help me write the rationale and complete all forms for the hearing. So we will walk through together and you will get to help me state why we made what decision that we made. So if you're interested in joining our Academic Integrity Committee board or our Student Conduct Board, please reach out to me. My email is up on the screen. I can give you more information or teach you how to get signed up for our next training. This is great on resumes. I did it when I was in college and I learned so much. And so if you're going into education, law enforcement, or anything like that, this would be a really great opportunity for you. Other than that, if there are questions, comments, concerns, or emotional outbursts, you will hear those at the end of the next presentation. Thank you for joining us.
I love the segue, by the way. Hi, everyone. My name is Brandon McLean. I am the Assistant Director for Student Engagement, Advocacy, and Leadership. As aforementioned, we're all about the excitement of college and making sure that you are getting more out of your experience and just going to classes and going back home. So our sort of motto is every shocker starts somewhere. So our biggest part is for each and every one of you all, wherever you are coming from or whatever you all want to get out of your college experience, we have something available for you all. So SEAL creates opportunities for you. We empower you to sort of figure out what is your fit and figuring out where does the campus community best fit you and where do you best fit the campus community as well. And on top of that, always providing additional skills, things that can translate to the workforce, things that can translate to your classes. And we do those through all of our different functional areas. So on this next slide, we sort of outline all the different functional areas within our office. So whether it's civic engagement, and let's say you're that student who really wants to get involved in the campus community and have different volunteer opportunities. Maybe you're that student who really wants to make sure that your fellow students are registered to vote. Well, let's also say that you're also that student who wants to join student organizations. And there's two different facets of that. You can either do fraternity sorority life, or you can do numerous of other student organizations as well. We also offer a slew of leadership development programs. So whether you want to do a conference for a weekend, whether you want to take some classes, whatever those wildness imaginations that allow you to excel as a leader on this campus as well. And then we also offer opportunities for students to travel. So let's say you want to go to the University of Hawaii for a semester or for a year. We offer that through National Student Exchange, where we partner with different schools across the nation and across the world even. That way you all can possibly learn in Berlin, Germany, or Missouri, I guess, for a semester and or a full year. And then we also have Student Government Association underneath our umbrella. And our Student Government Association, of which I'm one of their advisors, is a great group of students. And if you're ever interested in learning how to advocate for your fellow students and make change on campus, Student Government Association is a great way of doing that. Our Shocker Support Locker is also a resource as well. You sort of teased it earlier in our conversation, but our Shocker Support Locker is a resource. So let's say you are food insecure or your meal plan expired and it's only September. Otherwise, you were like me in undergrad. The Shocker Support Locker is a fully stocked food pantry located on campus, and you're more than welcome to at any point throughout your college experience to always stop in, grab what you need, and then head out. So it's always a really good stock. And as again one of their supporting advisors, I really want to encourage you all to always seek out the locker, even if you're not food insecure and you're just on campus and you don't feel like going to Chick-fil-A or you don't feel like spending money at Freddy's. There's some food there. I can almost promise you that. And then recognized student organizations, we'll talk more about that later, but that's also a resource for you as well. And then in case any of you are ever going to be any point in your college experience, either off-campus student, transfer student, a commuter student, whatever situation may be, we do have office support available for you all as well. So there's different ways you can get involved with our office. So first, we have a community involvement fair taking place during the first week of school. So what that will look like, it's almost 100 different departments, student organizations, all talking about how they can best serve you. And then, like I mentioned, you can always join the student organization. We'll talk more about that in a little bit in the next coming slides. And then the recruitment process for every fraternity and sorority on campus. We have a lot of different organizations here on campus. We'll talk more about that later, but just about 25 different chapters are available for you to potentially be a member of. All do intake at different points in the year, but at the same time, as someone who's also Greek, I would also encourage you all to at least think about the opportunity. And then the Community Service Board is sort of our go-to for all of our campus community involvement on campus. Really phenomenal group of students where they plan weekly community service events. So let's say you ever want to go pet puppies on a random Wednesday, there's an opportunity that Community Service Board does provide for you to go pet puppies on a random Wednesday. And then, like I mentioned earlier, the Student Government Association, really great group of students, and it really gives you an opportunity to advocate for your peers. And volunteer ICT. I would say volunteer ICT is probably going to be one of your best friends on campus if you're interested in getting involved in the greater Wichita community. What volunteer ICT holds is a list of opportunities that all of our community partners post daily, actually. And so let's say, like I mentioned, the puppies example, but let's say you want to go read to kids and it's a Sunday night or something like that. We do have some community partners who are willing to have you and willing to support you. And those hours can be used towards your scholarship programs. If your scholarship mandates that you have volunteer hours, if you have a student organization or in your fraternity or sorority that mandates that you have community service opportunities, or if you just want to serve and do your duty to the community, there's opportunities on volunteer ICT for that. And then we have a list of signature experiences here at Wichita State University through our office. So like I already mentioned, our community involvement fair, whose big event is probably one of the largest events we put on throughout the entire year just through our office. So what that looks like, it's about 200 to 300 students, staff, and faculty all coming together 2 times during the year. So we do one in the fall, one in the spring semester, and we just do community service. So it's 8 to 2. And we provide breakfast, we provide lunch, some closing remarks from our campus partners. But it's a really, really great event. And again, if you're ever interested in getting involved within your community and you don't have the bandwidth to go pet puppies every Wednesday, Who's Big Event's a good opportunity for you to have 6 hours just one day. And then family weekend, let's say you ever want to bring your family down on campus, and we'll have a whole list of events that are really fun and enjoyable for them. Homecoming, hopefully we get to move to spring semester to sort of be in accordance with basketball season here. But a lot of really great events, just like family weekend, but homecoming is a really, 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 really great time here at Wichita State University. And in Songfest, if you're ever that person who's into people singing songs not that well, but really trying their best to sing really well, Songfest is a great opportunity for that. So you see some of our student organizations, some friends do it, our fraternities and sororities participate as well. Songfest is a really, really good time if you're ever interested in just listening to people sing hits from their childhood, or groups that you thought went extinct, like Big Time Rush or One Direction or other songs. I don't know. There's opportunities for that as well. And then we already talked a little bit about fraternity and sorority life, but here at Wichita State University, we have a little bit over 600 members within our great community, 25 different chapters. All of our councils, on average, perform higher in terms of just GPA average to the rest of the student population. So if you're ever interested in saying, hey, how do I get around a group of people who are going to help excel me both academically and professionally, Greek life is a great opportunity for you for that. We have 4 governing councils. So we have our Interfraternity Council, our College Panhellenic Council, our Multicultural Greek Council, and our National Panhellenic Council as well. And in student organizations, there's so many different student organizations here on this campus, and they're all sort of grouped in different pairings. So whether you want to go into sports clubs, cultural-based organizations, academic organizations, whether you're an undergraduate or a graduate student, there's different organizations for that as well. So on the next slide is sort of your best friend if you're ever interested in getting involved on campus with student groups. That is an opportunity for you. So different student organizations. So whether you're an adult student, whether you are a international student, there's a student group available for you to help support you. And then we have our social media up on here. So feel free to follow us. We're more than happy to help out. We're in the 2nd floor of the RSC.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon. Let me bring in everyone else. Hang on a second. All right. Thank you guys for all of that information. Now it's time for some questions. So let's see what we got here. Let's start with counseling and prevention services. So let's see. We have students who are often hesitant to begin therapy. What would you recommend to those students?
First, let's validate that emotion. It's okay to be anxious and be hesitant and be afraid. Therapy is a hard thing, and what I would say to that is, lean into that uncomfortable emotion, lean into that discomfort, because that's the only way that you're going to get to that process and that point of change. If you're wanting to work on social skills, if you're wanting to work on communication, if you're wanting to work on time management, if you're wanting to work on coping skills, the only way you're going to get to that is to lean into that discomfort and to take that leap of faith, to step into that office, with all those emotions and fears and concerns, and we'll be willing and able to validate that and address those concerns. So yeah, I would advise being bold and being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Awesome. Thank you. The next question is for housing and residence life. Are students able to live on campus during breaks and at the end of the semester?
Yes, they are allowed to do that. So we have a special form that you'll fill out throughout that time, and you'll get emails about that late fall and then late spring as well. So yeah, we can have students stay with us as long as they're enrolled in classes for the summertime, but then over break time, there is an additional charge for that, but they're definitely allowed to stay.
All right. For disability services, what type of documentation of the disability do I have to provide for accommodations?
Okay. First and foremost, if you were on an IEP in K through 12, we would need a copy of that or the 504. If you had an evaluation, a copy of the evaluation would be nice, or a copy of the letter that maybe your doctor has written up stating what your disability is. So those would be the things that we would need to start up the process.
All right. For student conduct and community standards, what are the most common violations that you see in your office?
Absolutely. So we have 5 pretty common violations that I see in my office. The big one is academic integrity. We also have underage alcohol consumption, fire and safety violations. Please learn how to make popcorn and don't forget to put water in your ramen noodles. I know Carly would love to have no fire alarms in the residence halls next year. And then some of the other ones are failure to comply and just the noise policy.
All right. Yes, that popcorn thing it's an issue sometimes. All right. So student engagement, advocacy, and leadership. How do you get started with your involvement journey? Like, is there a certain limit to the amount of opportunities you're able to get involved in, or what would you recommend for incoming students?
It's different for everybody. There are some students who say, hey, I just want to do one thing per year. I want to do one thing per semester. There's some students who say, I want to do everything underneath the sun, like me. And that's completely fine. It's all about finding that balance that works best for you. So being able to manage the fact that you're still a student. Some of you may still be working part-time or full-time somewhere else. Some of you all may have family obligations that you need to meet as well. Involvement is completely flexible and it's up to what you want specifically. So if you want to do two things, that's perfectly fine. If you want to be an RA and be my student body president, those are two separate things and we can make that work with, knock on wood. But, always able to work with your schedules.
Thank you. Carly, I believe there's another one for you, which I think Alicia Newell has been watching as well, and she kind of answered the question. But would you be able to give a little more detail on like the app that you were talking about?
Sorry, you cut out there for a second. On the what?
The app. I believe it was you that was.
Oh,
yeah.
For the laundry?
Yes.
So I actually misspoke just a little bit. They're still working on making sure that is like the technology is there to go live. So as soon as we know the information about the app, we'll send it out to all the residents and put signage in the laundry rooms and everything.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's see, we got another one here. I think this is another one for CAPS. What policies exist around using preferred names rather than legal names given at birth?
So that's a conversation that you can have with your individual counselor. It depends on you. And, we have a system that we call Titanium. And so that has like the information on our clients and stuff. And so if you prefer, or if you have a preferred name, we can always work with you with that and make sure that that's the name that's on the system. If you prefer that it's not, what they call it, if you're worried about parents finding out or anybody else finding out, our information is confidential. So only the therapist and the client can view that information.
Okay, thank you. This one's for Office of Disability Services. The student has never used an accommodation, but do they still need to sign up for their services? Like they might have something, but they've never signed up for any sort of accommodations before.
Again, if a student thinks that they might have a disability, it's best for them to contact us through our email, and then we can try to figure out what other places they could go to get evaluated if they're just not certain if they have a disability. CAPS is on here. They can do some of the evaluations. There's other resources off campus. So again, if they just think that they're struggling and they think that it's a disability, then they could give us a call and we'll figure out where they can get evaluated.
All right. Student conduct and community standards. How do you report an issue that has happened?
Absolutely. So we have what's called a report it page. So it's wichita.edu/report it. This is something where all reports can be found. So all conduct reports, OIEC reports, care team reports, and bias incident reports, and as well as academic integrity and conduct. So it has a bunch of reports on that page, but this is where you would go to submit that. Under each of those reports is a little description box as to what that report actually does and where, like, so you know which report you're trying to fill out. If you don't know, if you just submit one, they mostly all come to me, so I will make sure that it gets to the right spot.
Awesome, thank you. And I think the last one's directed towards Brandon with student engagement, advocacy, and leadership. Although I think this is also something that everyone can, provide their opinion as well. But what are, I guess, your favorite events that happens at Wichita State? And Brandon, I know you're new, but which ones are you excited for? And which ones, I guess, are exciting to look forward to for this fall semester? And I think everyone can kind of pitch in on this one.
I love a good homecoming. I think when homecoming is done right, nothing can beat it. So I would always say, like, I put a lot of pressure on our staff to make the perfect homecoming. So still waiting to see what that looks like right now. But when homecoming's announced, you all should be there.
Does anyone else have any they want to add in on that?
When we do Shakers After Dark, I think those are a fun event for the students, but I also enjoy it just because I get to see the different students and find out what's new and just see them having fun.
Yes. And I believe, if I remember correctly, Shockers After Dark is happening, I want to say September 9th. Everyone correct me if I'm wrong on that. But that's early September. So that one will be coming up fairly soon. We'll have a Welcome Fest happening. That's like the first month of classes, and there'll be a long list of all the different events happening on campus. There's going to be a bunch going on. One of my favorites, I like Back to School Bash. That's happening the weekend before classes start. I think it's August. What day is that? 20th, I think. So there's a bunch of things going on. There's Office of Diversity and Inclusion, sorry, about said disability services. But they have a next level garage party that's happening right before classes start as well. So there's a bunch of stuff going on. I kind of took over here, but if anyone else has any they want to bring up as well, that'd be great. Any other fun, exciting ones?
Yeah, we're going to do a karaoke night and tie-dyeing shirts and cookout food on Tuesday, August 16th in the evening. So it'll be from 6-ish to 10-ish. So just it'll be in the Shocker Hall courtyard. So if you see a bunch of people out there having fun, come join us, and there will be lots to do.
I have one. So this is a new program this year that I'm really excited about. And this is about to show how much of a nerd that I am. So just prep that one. But on Tuesday, August 30th, there's a syllabus party for all first-year students and transfer students to go over their syllabi and how to read them, because I know it can be very confusing. So if you want to come and see us at syllabus party, we'll be there.
Thank you. Any others? Any other great events? There's a bunch of great events, and I see another question came in. It says, is there a list of all the activities? Yes, there will be. I think many departments are finishing up finalizing their events. There might be some last minute detail changes, but all of those will be listed. Let me put it up on the screen. You can go to wichita.edu/calendar. And that has our university calendar. All of the events are submitted there. You can also go to Shocker Sync. That's what Brandon mentioned earlier. That's where you find all the student organizations happening. Events are posted on there as well. And that would be shockersync.wichita.edu. So there'll be lots of stuff happening. Also pay attention to any of our social media, any posters hung up around campus. We're also very beginning of classes, there's a bunch of stuff going on, and we're all out there. We have welcome tables set up, and so there'll be people out there ready to help and answer questions at that time too. Many departments create their own semester calendars. So there'll be plenty of things happening, and you'll be able to find all of those events soon. But I think that might be all of the questions now. But thank you for joining us. Thank you to our presenters, and thank you for all of our viewers who have been wanting to learn about student affairs and all the opportunities that we have for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to message us on our social media platforms or email. Our social media handles are at WSU Student Affairs. Our email is vpstudentaffairs@wichita.edu. You can also reach out to all of these lovely people. I'm sure they're more than happy to help you. If you want, you can find all of their websites. But I think that's it. So have a great rest of your day. Oh, one more thing. Make sure you comment your name so we can get you in for that $500 book scholarship. Do that so you don't want to miss out on that opportunity. But thank you guys. Have a great day.